Namaste, welcome to my channel. I can't believe what I'm about to say. It's been a year tomorrow since I flew out of Sydney to Nepal for my Nepal and India trip. It's gone so quick, and I was meant to be flying back out this August, but unfortunately due to COVID-19 and all of the border closures, travel overseas sort of just isn't on the cards right now. So I'm just trying to embrace this collective pause and use it to finally put time into my vlogging and upload the videos I've been wanting to. So enjoy! I'm here in beautiful Varanasi by the Ganga, taking it all in. It's my last day here and I'm so cut about leaving. I'm absolutely, utterly in love with this country. I wanted to take this time while I kill time before my train tonight to debunk some of the Western world's misconceptions of India and solo female travel in India. This video is completely from my own personal experience. I don't claim for this to be absolute fact, and always use your own discretion when traveling and make your own, obviously, your own opinions and your own decisions. But in saying that, I have experienced nothing but the most beautiful, vibrant, devoted, passionate, incredible people here in India, and a lot of those have been men. I should probably first tell you where I've been. So from Pokhara I went back to Kathmandu to fly to Delhi, and I was genuinely scared to come to India by myself because of all of the crazy stories you hear. So what I did was my flight got in like 3 p.m. I booked a hotel for the night that my flight got in because I had a bus from Delhi to Rishikesh at 2:30 in the morning, and I was like, holy shit, like I'm gonna be out in Delhi by myself till 2:30 a.m. So I took the safe option and booked my own private room in a hotel, and I think it cost me like 20 Australian dollars, something ridiculous. And I had the hotel organize, once I got there, organize their driver to come pick me up at 2 in the morning to take me to the bus stop. So that was completely fine. It was a bit of a sketchy feeling, being like, oh, I'm out in the streets of Delhi, getting into a random man driver's car. I just want to put a little marker in here and give some advice. When booking buses in India, it's really, really important that you align them so where you get off, your expected arrival time is meant to be during the day, and allow yourself, honestly, even like a 6-hour window. So if you book a bus and it's like, cool, it's meant to arrive at like 5 p.m, that's still light, there is a high chance that there will be delays and you could not reach that spot until maybe 10 p.m. that night. So for me, the reason why I took a risk on boarding the bus at night at 3:30 or whatever it was in the morning was so I knew that when I got off that bus that I will be in daylight. And you can't guarantee that where you get off that bus is going to be a proper bus station either. We literally got off the bus. Thank God there was another British girl on the bus. We both got off literally on the side of a dirt road. And it was about 45 minutes out of Rishikesh, and we both went, oh shit, all right, do you want to split a tuk-tuk? And we got in a tuk-tuk for 45 minutes and drove into Rishikesh. So just be really mindful about your timings and just try your best to get your travel when you are getting on and off in daylight as best as you can. There is a high chance that there will be other English speaking people there, but When I first got on the bus, they were all Indian, they didn't speak English, and I had to fend for myself quite a bit. Luckily, it all went good, it's all safe. You don't need to stress over this, just keep it in mind when booking your buses. Driver's car, but it was completely fine. The bus was, an hour or so late, but that was fine, it was all safe. Sleeper bus, I think it was, I can't remember what company it was. I will write all of the details. The sleeper buses were so fine. I always booked, if I could, the upper berth, just because you're up above the people walking around and you just, I don't know, for me it just felt a little bit more private. And I actually slept, which was really nice. And it was, you know, a bit bumpy and loud here and there, but all in all, it was pretty fine. The bus from Delhi to Rishikesh took, I think it was like 8 hours. And there was a few like toilet stops and, you know, food stops along the way, and that was all fine. Then I went from Rishikesh to Dharamshala up to McLeod Ganj. I met a girl in Pokhara, and she actually met up with me again when we were both in Rishikesh, and her boyfriend and I, we were like, you know what, we're not getting the bus. We've heard the most crazy, it's like 13-14 hours and it's all windy roads and everyone's like, you will get sick, it's the worst. And they were already a little bit sick, India got them. So we were like, let's split a taxi by the three of us. It was going to cost us like 3,000 rupee each, which is about about 60 Australian dollars, I believe, something around that. And we got the taxi, and he had no clue. We had to navigate him the whole way. It ended up taking 14 hours, and it was just a total nightmare. So my tip is, if you get a taxi, make sure they know where they're going, or they at least have their own GPS. But other than that, taxi was much better than a bus, I believe, because I've heard some horror stories. But yeah. So then, yeah, I spent a week in McLeod Ganj, and I stayed in Upper Baksu, which hands down my favorite place. It was so beautiful. I saw the Dalai Lama. It was just incredible. I will expand on this in a blog post, I believe, because that place, I want to live there. And then from there I flew, so I took a taxi. This is all by myself too. Took a taxi from Upper Baksu, Dharamshala to Dharamshala Airport, and flew to Jaipur with SpiceJet, and yeah, everything ran smoothly, and Jaipur was incredible. I did it in a day and a half by myself, met people at the hostel and like went around with them, and it was really great. Then went Jaipur to Pushkar. For this stint, just because of time, I booked my own private driver. So I was really lucky to have a friend who is Indian, who lives in Varanasi, who is in the Indian tourism industry, book me his friend to drive me from Jaipur to Pushkar to Agra. I will link his details below. So if you're ever in India, in Varanasi area, get him, be your guide, he's your man. When booking a driver, just be so mindful. One, that they are who they say they are and they do what they say they do. Two, their prices, shop around. They will try and get more money out of you than necessary. Sometimes, no, but a lot of the time, just do your research. The other thing is, some of them are cash payments, so you're not actually paying them straight away before you have been driven. So if you get there, you meet them, and something just doesn't feel right, do not get in the car. It might feel awkward, you might feel rude, it might aggravate them, but I guarantee you, your gut knows, and it's going to be far less dangerous than if you do get in that car. So just trust yourself, be diligent, and use your own discretion again with this. So I had a driver to drive me from Jaipur to Pushkar to Agra. It's just Jaipur to Pushkar is so fine. It's like 4 hours, but Pushkar to Agra, it's just a big trip, and on public transport it was just going to take too long, and I only had 6 weeks, so I chose to pay a bit more and have that just sped up a little bit so I could have more time actually in the places rather than traveling. So yeah, then went to Agra, and then Agra I got another sleeper bus and came here to Varanasi. So I didn't spend a great amount of time in any major cities. I did that on purpose just because of safety and everything I've heard. So I can't speak for Delhi, Mumbai, you know, I don't know. But from where I've been and what I've seen, it has been completely fine. One of the myths is, as a female by yourself, don't be out of the house or out of where you're staying past like 8 p.m. at night. This is total bullshit. From where I was, like up in Dharamshala, Rishikesh and stuff, I was out at like 11:30 at night. Always, I was with another female, sometimes walking by myself. Here in Varanasi, I've been out at like, I don't know, like 9:30, walking around 10, and you know, I'm very white. I've got blonde hair, I'm white, and I'm sitting in a singlet, always wearing like loose sort of flowy pants, but it's yeah, it's not been an issue. The next thing is the taxis and your safety in those. I personally did not once experience any unsafety with the taxis, apart from the fucking crazy way Indians drive. That is unsafety in itself, but that's just a fact of coming to the country. The biggest things I would say is, one, resting bitch face whilst you're walking. You know, be friendly, say hi, but don't spur it on. Don't lead it on. Just short and sweet. The next thing is your super strong ability to say no. And sometimes you're gonna feel like you're being a little bit cold and a little bit rude, but you just have to be. There's a difference between strong and definite and being an asshole. 3 is, if you have food allergies or intolerances or something, it can be really hard. I am gluten intolerant and vegetarian, which vegetarian vegan is not a problem. You can totally eat here. If you're celiac or being gluten intolerant, it's virtually impossible, unless you're eating Indian every meal with rice, which is also for me impossible. My body has not loved Indian food. I only got sick like slightly for like a night. It wasn't even fully sick, but I've just felt terrible. So my skin everything's just gone crazy from all of the gluten I've been eating and the sugar. It's it can be quite difficult to tend to those dietary requirements. So unfortunately my phone decided to cark it. So I will summarize now. I wanted to add on to the end of just where I was talking about the gluten intolerances or food intolerances. One thing that really, really helped me is if you are open to the sort of left field natural health, I got a bottle of warm digestive bitters made up from my naturopath. These things are so amazing. You can just drop them. It's a really disgusting taste, but drop them on your tongue however many times before or after food, and it really just helps your digestive system process all of the crazy amazing flavors you're going to taste, but the really intense spices and that as well that entails. So they helped me a lot. Also, ginger capsules. I just got them from the health food store. It's literally just ginger, and it just helps your tummy because sometimes you just need it in India. The next thing, which I already mentioned before, was the noise cancelling headphones. It sounds so first world, and it is. It really is. It's a luxury, but the noise cancelling headphones I had just made the travel and sleeping whilst traveling so much more peaceful. And it's also, once you have headphones on, you get bothered less. People will love coming up to you and just trying to touch you and talk to you, and you know, it's most of the time all in good nature. But yeah, if you just don't feel like being bothered, just having those headphones on to just zone you out is a really good idea. So I caught a train from Varanasi back to Delhi to fly, but the really important thing with trains in India is you have to book them pretty far in advance. Now, I didn't do that, and I freaked out a little bit. Luckily, I had a Nand to guide me when I was in Varanasi to the sort of like international travelers section of Delhi Railway. They keep a certain amount of tickets for travelers. So I went the day before I wanted to catch a train, and I just said, look, do you have any, I think it was second class sleeper tickets? And I was lucky enough to get one. I think it was something like 14,000 rupee, but it was really, really worth it. Again, upper berths. Don't go first class because I've heard, don't know from first-hand experience, but I heard on first class sleepers you can actually lock the doors from the inside, and there's only you and one other person. So in the second class, you've got 2 up the top, 2 down the bottom, and it's open. So it's just a little bit more safe, I believe, in my experience. On the topic of just booking things, book as you go. I booked way too much here in Australia online in advance, and it really hindered a lot of my trip. It was too planned because I was a little bit anxious. I'd never been traveling solo before, let alone India. Obviously do your research. It was nice just having some hostels where I was like, I know that that's where I'm going, and I could tell my taxi driver, like, take me there. That was really good. But other things like buses are so easy to book over there. Your hostels will do it for you. Not having absolute set times just allows you to really sink into the Indian experience and just be free. So yeah, just ease up on micromanaging and booking everything before you go. Book a little bit, but yeah. Another thing, what have I got here? Oh, the Maps.me app. That app is incredible. You can go to a place, and as soon as you get a bit of internet connection, you can download the maps for like all around that city, and you can use it when you're offline, and actually shows you where you are. And it was incredible. Really, really helped me. And I was walking places, trying to navigate my way back to hostels. So yeah, definitely get that one. What else have I got here? I chose to book all-female dorms apart from once. That was actually a mistake. For me, that just felt safer. It was super relaxed. I met some really beautiful people in the hostels and still have them on WhatsApp and in contact with them now. So it's just really nice just having that all-female room. Dress modestly, but don't overly stress. Obviously in India, you want to fit in. You already stand out as a Westerner, so you want to try and fit in. Like you saw before though, I always had my legs covered, apart from when I was in Upper Baksu in Dharamshala. I wore, I think, a pair of trekking shorts 1 or 2 days. Up very far into the Himalayas, like Dharamshala and McLeod-Ganj, it is less, it just feels less dangerous for some reason. There's a massive Tibetan culture there, and it's just like a very different feel to the rest of India. So I felt safe enough to dress a little bit more westernized, but not full skin showing or anything. So dress modestly, but you know, so many people like, cover your shoulders at all times, cover everything. You can't. I didn't find it to be that much of a stress. What else have I got? Yes, the biggest thing: choose your time of year very carefully. I was in India from the beginning of May till the end of June. It was fucking hot, to say the least. I think one of the days it was 50 degrees Celsius. Although I still, I was out on the streets, I was drinking like 9 liters of water a day, taking electrolytes because you just walk out and you're sweating. It was amazing. I still saw all of India, but the places I went, I still got out and explored. But if I could do it again, that's why I chose this year when I was meant to be going in August, say, so I could do like August, September, October, November, which is a beautiful time there. So try and just choose your locations and look at the weather. You've got your monsoon seasons, you've got the super duper hot summers. So yeah, just do a little bit of planning when it comes to that. Above all, India is one of the most incredible, amazing places you will ever see in your life. Be open, be kind, and just flow with it. It is one of the most incredible experiences ever, and I'm so excited if you're watching this and you're going or planning to go to India. I will link my Instagram and my blog. Follow me, send me any questions at all. I will try my best to answer them, or I can refer you on to people who probably will be able to answer them better. And yeah, just breathe in every single moment because it's amazing.